been introduced in various colleges, and there was an apprehension that law 8 years, even after graduation, he thought might as well take the opportunity of becoming a lawyer, because still it is 3 years, he'll take the law degree and it will help him in his business also. That's how he joined law in 1982 after having worked 3 years in business. But that study of law ultimately moved him. The initial thought of going back to business and using his knowledge in law for the purposes of his business somewhere went into the background, and he finally decided to become a lawyer to the benefit of the institution, to the benefit of Supreme Court, to the benefit of the profession. He also, as far as the members of the bar are concerned, we have always felt that Justice Bindal had read the file. He would hear you whether he decided against you or not. That was, of course, that always is the prerogative of the judge. But you never felt that he is going by some written notes given to him by some law clerk, and depending on that. You always had the feeling and the pleasure of arguing a matter, getting a full hearing before him, and then getting a decision whichever way, which of course was his call. I vividly recall Justice Bindal's address delivered in April 2024 to a group of young judicial officers. It was at that moment revealed the heart behind the role. He didn't speak of abstract legal theories of power of the high office. Instead, he invoked the timeless literary heritage of Munshi Premchand's Panch Parmeshwar. By recounting the story of Algu Chaudhary and Jumman Sheikh, Justice Bindal reminded those officers that all of us, that the seat of the judge is the seat of the punch. He spoke of how Algu had to set aside his deepest friendship to do what was right for an old aggrieved aunt. In that address, Justice Bindal defined the essence of our calling, that when a judge sits on that bench, they belong to no one but truth. He taught us that punch must embody a clear and independent conscience. Justice Bindal's legacy is not just written in law reports, but in the very infrastructure of our courts. Long before digital transformation became a buzzword, he was its silent architect. During his tenure at Punjab and Haryana High Court, he was instrumental in developing the MED-LER-PR system, a centralized software for preparing medical, legal and post-mortem reporting systems. What began in Chandigarh and Punjab was so effective that the Government of India made it mandatory for all states in December 2023. Whether it was chairing committees on electronic evidence, studying the civil aspects of International Child Abduction Bill, or developing the litigation management system to manage state litigation, his work at Chandigarh proved that efficiency is a form of compassion. Having disposed of nearly 80,000 cases in his parent High Court, he shows us that just duty is just to clear the path for the common man. This commitment to the system extends far beyond the courtroom. Driven by a deep-seated passion for legal education, he has been a constant guide to the next generation of judiciary. He is a frequent and sought-after presence in the National Judicial Academy, various state judicial academies, prominent universities across the nation, ensuring that his experience and wisdom benefits the judges and lawyers of tomorrow. During his tenure in Jammu and Kashmir, more than 150 of his judgments found their way to the SCC. Yet 3 stand out for the profound urgency they offer to people in distress. In Madhubala versus Union Territory and in Shelly Sharia, we see him protect the most vulnerable students. In Susmita Sahadatta, during the sensitive monitoring of a post-poll violence investigation, he demonstrated his unwavering commitment to judicial independence. When the state attempted to unilaterally appoint officers to the court-monitored SIT, the monitoring judge, he called out this as total casual authorities. His order ensured that SIT remained free from state influence. In Allahabad, in the state of UP versus Puja Singh, he confronted a very regressive notion that a daughter's marriage severs her identity as a family member. The state had cancelled the compassion appointment of Puja solely because she was married. Justice Bindal upheld the striking down of this discriminatory rule, affirming that a daughter, married or unmarried, remains a daughter. The state had filed an intra-court appeal delayed the amount curtailed. But this is the only way this kind of tendency can be tackled more effectively. During his tenure as Chief Justice of Allahabad, he proved himself both a protector of the individual and discipline in the system. And he moved from Allahabad to Supreme Court. He carried with him a legacy of accountability, a legacy that continues to inspire both bar and bench. At this court, the legacy did not deepen across many benches. You served while sitting with Justice Hima Kohli, Justice J.K. Maheshwari, Justice C.T. Ravi Kumar, Justice Abhay Roka, Justice Vikram Nath, Justice Sundaresh, Justice Manmohan, or Justice Madhavan. Your presence brought steady principles center to every courtroom. Lined up. Today we are joined here by his brother who has come all the way from Canada. We are also joined by his son who is a lawyer in Shivram Dillo, who also lives in Chandigarh. His daughter and his granddaughter Ishanvi could come because Ishanvi being very small, could not have probably stayed on this remarkable journey. It is important to remember that every great Justice Bindal speaks with deep reverence of his early years at days at the bar, especially time spent in the chambers of his first senior advocate Shri K.P. Bhandari. It was under Mr. Bhandari's tutelage at the Honorable Punjab and Haryana High Court that he imbibed the virtues of meticulous preparation and professional grace. It is this quality of remaining profoundly grateful to one's roots that distinguishes a person of true character. As you debate officer, we salute your journey. You leave this court not just with a legacy of author judgments, but with genuine appreciation of a bar that saw in you a true personification of Allu Chaudhary's integrity. On behalf of the association, we wish you and your family a bright future, and we hope you'll be able to spend more time with your granddaughter who will be waiting for your time after your time. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Since both the Chief Justice of India and Honorable Justice Rajesh Bindal, sir, both comes from the same bar, now I request Honorable Chief Justice of India to kindly share a personal anecdote about Justice Bindal and give his addresses.
My dear brother Justice Rajesh Bindal, Judge Supreme Court of India, and of course the man we all have gathered here to honor today. My esteemed colleagues from the Supreme Court of India, Justice Rishikesh Roy, former Judge Supreme Court of India, Sri R. Venkatamani, learned Attorney General for India, senior law officers of the Government of India and various state governments, Sri Vikas Singh, Senior Advocate and President Supreme Court Bar Association, Sri Rahul Kaushik, Senior Advocate and Vice President Supreme Court Bar Association, Ms. Pragya Baghel, Honorary Secretary Supreme Court Bar Association, Executive Members SCBA, Sri Vipin Nair, President of SCORA, other office bearers of SCORA, very distinguished senior advocates, esteemed members of the Supreme Court and SCORA Bar, Secretary General, Registrars and other officers of the High Court, Supreme Court establishment, dear brother of Justice Rajesh Bindal, his son-in-law dear Shivram, his son dear Himanshu, ladies and gentlemen, we come together on this momentous evening to felicitate a distinguished jurist, which gives me great pleasure. However, before proceeding with my thoughts, I would like to thank the Supreme Court Bar Association for convening this event that allows us to pause and reflect as we bid adieu to one of our own. When we bid farewell to a judge who has strengthened every court we have served, the occasion is not one of loss alone, it is also one of gratitude. My dear brother, born in Ambala, educated in Kurukshetra University, and beginning practice at the Punjab and Haryana High Court in 85. As you know, and Learned Attorney General, Mr. Vikas Singh, Mr. Rahul, all of them have briefly pointed out that we then adorned the bench of the Punjab and Haryana High Court, then Acting Chief Justice Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh High Court, then Acting Chief Justice Calcutta High Court, and then Chief Justice of the largest High Court of the country, Allahabad High Court, before his elevation to Supreme Court on 13th February 2023. I don't need to remind you all that only a few judicial careers have carried such a wide institutional geography. That journey matters because it shaped the kind of judge he ultimately became. Serving across such different courts is to acquire more than administrative familiarity. It is to understand India's justice system in its variety, its different burdens, its different rhythms, and its different litigating culture. Justice Rajesh Bindal, in my opinion, brought to this court that larger field of vision. He had been seeing justice not in one registry. He has not seen one reason alone or one legal culture, but across a broad constitutional map of the country. Yet the true distinction of Justice Bindal's career lies not only in where he served, but in how he strengthened the institution wherever he served. Learned Attorney General pointed out that contribution made by Justice Bindal towards development of various softwares, so did Mr. Vikas Singh. Wherever he, starting from Punjab and Haryana High Court, where the software which he developed on the projection of medical, the nation's asset, because mandatorily it was enforced throughout the country. He has done commendable job in the matter of maintenance of records, access, and so many institutional design and infrastructure. In building committee also, wherever their responsibilities were given. This was a remarkable achievement by my brother Justice Bindal. Today in the ceremonial bench, I very briefly pointed out my association with Justice Rajesh Bindal. Our journeys have in many ways run together. From our days at the bar, when we shared a common table, to our years on the bench of the Punjab and Haryana High Court, and finally to the Supreme Court of India. I may share with you when I shifted to the High Court in February 85 after joining profession in July 1984. My brother Justice Bindal joined the High Court Bar Association in October 1985. It's a pleasant experience and coincidence that we both shared the common table in the bar room. There was not a very big bar room at that time, but it was a decent building and a very cozy bar room. We had the library and bar room together, and we started working together on the same table. We saw struggling each other and creating our space in profession. Justice Bindal developed liking towards civil law and taxation matters. He, if I remember correctly, he remained standing counsel for the Income Tax Department also. He represented Union of India for a couple of years on behalf of the revenue. My practice started towards writ side, but then we continued together. We had seen those initial days of struggle, how surviving in profession, and of course we almost wrote successful stories also together. I got elevated in January 1984, and a couple of maybe less than 2 years difference, then my brother also was elevated, and that gave us occasion to work together in the High Court also. And while I can't make any exaggerated claim for myself, but I too had a image and reputation of reasonable disposal, but there was no parallel to Justice Bindal. He was unparalleled. So I could never even thought of competing with him because I accepted my defeat right from the beginning. And that he was known for his this because and that requires a very significant deliver. And that remarkable quality right from the very day of his elevation was seen by the bar and of course his own colleagues like me on the bench. It is therefore no surprise that when he looks at his judgments, one finds the seriousness of and practicality that one can only be born from the thoughtness. Some of his judgments have already been referred to, like Shahji Aman Khan, where Justice Bindal took a very strong, passionate and compassionate view, I would say, when he said that you can't treat a child like a chattel while giving the custody to one of the parents with whom the child has not even seen the face for 10 years. So these are the remarks that a human judge will reflect. In Parminder Singh versus Honey Goyal case, that's again a very landmark judgment where he laid down first time that the compensation under the motor accident claim cases should directly be transferred to the accounts of the victims of the accident. Probably before that there were a lot of malpractices also going on in the tribunals and we kept on hearing complaints also and by whether Bindal will reflect in his own hometown Ambala. In fact, a big scandal took place, which on judicial side the night that with them, there were so many issues that. So probably keeping that ground realities in mind, the moment he got an opportunity, he laid down as a law of the land. Another judgment which I really liked was, as pointed out by Mr. Vikas Singh, that where he lambasted the authorities for their inaction and in their failure to perform their constitutional responsibilities and how the Supreme Court, speaking through him, really reiterated the commitment as guardians of justice. Long before his elevation into Supreme Court in Calcutta High Court also, in one of the judgment that was Humanity Salt Lake versus State of West Bengal, must have been a PIL, where he insisted that no public figure, however admired, stands above the constitutional demand of equality before law. And that principle of equality and constitutional principles, I would say, have been deeply embedded in him, right from the very inception of his career as a constitutional judge. That's why, if I were to describe Justice Bindal in institutional terms, I would say that he belongs to that rare class of judges whose contribution is measured not only by what they decided, but also by what they enabled the institution to do better. I would further say there are judges who leave behind memorable citations. There are judges who leave behind improved systems. My brother Justice Rajesh Bindal leaves behind both. And that feat is doubtless worthy of our respect and gratitude. Recently, Justice Bindal warned against the growing use of AI-generated fake citations in courts and cautioned the members of the bar also that by virtue of these AI products, please do not indulge in frivolous litigation. He has welcomed technology where it strengthens access and administration, but he has been equally clear that no technological tool can substitute for scrutiny, preparation, and professional integrity. I therefore believe that the finest tribute the bar can therefore pay to my brother Justice Rajesh Bindal is by honoring the standards he has exemplified, accuracy over speed, preparation over improvisation, substance over spectacle, and assistance to the court over the needless multiplication of contest. Justice Bindal, my dear mother, on behalf of this court and in the presence of the bar that honors you today, I thank you not only for your service but for the manner of it. In a system that can tolerate delay, you insisted on movement, and in an institution that depends on discipline, you quietly embodied it every single day. For those of us who have had the privilege of working with you, this farewell is not merely formal, it is deeply personal. We have known you as a colleague who has always prepared, a judge who has always exact, and a friend whose steadiness never wavered. There is a simple line that comes to my mind: well done is better than well said. Your career stands as a testament to that truth. You have never been one for words beyond what was necessary, but your work has always spoken clearly and convincingly for itself. Farewell, Brother Justice Rajesh Bindal. You leave with our respect, our affection, and our very best wishes for the next chapter in your storied life. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Now I request what is called and described by the Chief Justice of India in recent function, the most hardcore, hardworking judge, the Honorable Mr. Justice Rajesh Bindal, Judge Supreme Court of India, to give his address.
Honorable the Chief Justice of India, this is Surya Kant. My former brother, not former brother, Rishikesh Roy, brothers from the Supreme Court, and Attorney General, other officers of the Union of India in the state, Mr. Vikas Singh, President of the Supreme Court Bar Association, other office leaders, Mr. Vipin Nair, President of SCORA and other office leaders, senior advocates, members of the bar, Secretary General and registry officials, my family members, ladies and gentlemen. It's very difficult to speak after so much has been said. I don't know. I don't remember all these judgments also that have been referred to. As I said, I think in the SCORA's program also, that after the judgment is delivered, we don't remember what we said. It's only the lawyers take out some judgments and cite it for us. So we have to sit with clean slate every time we hear, not to be prejudiced by what we said earlier. So maybe sometimes some judgment may have been given. A lot has been said about me. I don't know whether I deserve it or not. But still, whatever was there, whatever I could do, I think I have tried my best to do it. As has been said, my Lord degree is from Kurukshetra. And Kurukshetra is a place where Lord Krishna had given the दो लाइनें हमारे को याद हैं कर्मण्यवाधिकार से मां फलेषु कदाचन. So we should work on that principle. Do your work, everything will follow. And this is what I have felt myself also. I never thought of where I am today. And you see, my 2020 match is over today. So you may say about 2020 is in cricket only. But somehow my period of practice was 20 years, 6 months. And my period as judgeship is 20 years and 25 days. As has been said now, I was born in a very small city, Bala city. Belonged to a small business family, no one in legal profession, close also. Did my graduation in 79. But somehow in the final exam in April, I just got some illness, so I could not take exam in April. So little things I had shared, some had kept for me also. So naturally, I had to take exam in September. So when I took my exam in September, so naturally the idea was how to save 6 months now. Because otherwise the next class you will get in April only. At that time what used to be there, BA, BSc, BCom, that's all. 79 there was nothing else. BSc you had medical, non-medical. If you have commerce you can go in MBA or CA, that's all. This was the, I think, options available. So what I thought, I can save 6 months time by joining CA. But there was some issue. Issue was like What he said that he assigned me some work. He said, you do it by tomorrow. I said, in accounting it is not possible because sometimes the trial balance you can't make out. If there is a difference of maybe 1 rupee only, you may have to see the entire thing altogether again. So I said, may not be possible. He said, then you can't work with me. I said, all right, okay, bye. It's all destiny, I am saying. If he had not said so, maybe I was in CA only, Chartered Accountancy. He said no. Then thereafter, they said how to save time. You see, at that time, there used to be some places where law admission you could take at any time. So I had taken admission in law also. The idea was not to join the profession. The idea was to save 6 months. So I joined law also. And the places were such where you were not required to go to attend classes. Lecture was not a problem. So those were the places. So somehow what happened, there was some issue, some floods and all that in that area. There were no final exam. So I left it. Naturally I had to leave it because the exam was not there. So by that time now April, May had come, so I said, all right, this 1 year is over now. So I entered the business. So 2 years in business, as Mr. Vikas Singh said that, I thought that because at that time the lot of rumor was there, it started also that the law will be for 5 years. Nobody knew it will be 10 plus 2 plus 5 or after graduation 5. So I thought that if I do law, maybe it is helpful in business. If you go to some office, the people are also afraid of vakil. It's a panga nahi. In business also you see all these centers. So joined law, Kurukshetra. Did it in 82 I joined and 85 I passed it out. In that time also, because initially you say I stayed in hostel for 6 months. Why? Because there was a gap of 3 years in writing exams, so I never knew that I will be able to recall and write the answers also or not. So I had to be very little serious. So thereafter first exam I said, all right, I can make out something. It was the time when you see out of 10 questions you have to attempt 5 only. The books you are studying were not there. We used to have barracks only, or maybe Allahabad law series. Anyone of you must be knowing? No. Or a writer used to be there, Jambawala, if you have heard his name. Very small book. Jambawala. So these kind of books, Gutka to Allahabad ke the. So ultimately that Gutka had taken me to Allahabad only. So Allahabad law series also we read. Our fees was how much? Just see, I had paid to be 30 a month fee for my law. And the books also used to be 30 rupees per subject, 6 subjects, 180 rupees books, and 30 per month the fee 360. That's all. This was the cost at that time. No project, no mood, nothing. Only some ratta and take exam. 35-40% marks you can always get. Maybe even one exam I remember I attempted only 3.5 questions out of 5. And my marks were 66. I don't know how the teacher. And the paper I remember was of legal history. I don't know, but I had read it. But this is what used to be. 85 I did my law. So thereafter at that time little recession was there in the business we were. So I thought, not I thought, one of my class fellow of my father, he was AOR in Supreme Court at that time. So very old, his class fellow stage. He said, you join the profession, he said, and I'll leave you at Chandigarh only with my friend. All right. Nobody was there in the family, so we had taken his advice. Came to Chandigarh. And he left with Mr. K.P. Bindal, used to be there, senior advocate. He later became Advocate General and retired as a judge. So I worked with him for a year or so and thereafter independent. Then journey started. But in the process I would say that at the very young age, in 92 or 93, because of one of the clients who had some highly contested litigation and I was just a counsel there, I came in contact with, because Mr. Shanti Bhushan used to conduct his all cases either in Chandigarh or in Supreme. So working with him, I think I worked with Mr. Shanti Bhushan, the matters belonging to that company only, from 92-3 to 2005-6, some issues. And I learned a lot of things from him. What I thought initially at the young age, that how the Supreme Court lawyers travel throughout the country, how they prepare the briefs and how they get the time for that. It was a little surprising because we used to take a lot of time in preparation of cases. But when I saw the way he used to prepare the cases, the way his notes were there was no need to read the file. You just glance through his 3, 4, 5, 10 pages notes, that's all. It may be during flight only or train journey, that's all. So this is what I learned from him. This is how you learn from the seniors, and this I think the young lawyers should do it. So what happened once, little I think if you are, in 2004, what happened, otherwise everything was going on. When I was the standing counsel for Income Tax Department, the bench was constituted, headed by Justice Singhvi. And this was to deal with only the tax matters from Haryana. I was the standing counsel for income tax for Haryana at that time. I was the only standing counsel. So very few sales tax matter, all income tax matters before that bench. So very difficult now because I was the only person, state maybe 1 or 2 cases, rest all cases of income tax department and very old matters. And the department will not give you any file also. Nothing, they did not have any file. So what to do in the evening, we'll take file from the court. In 50% the opposite counsel will also not appear. So you need to take out, I think many of you must have seen working of Justice Singhvi. So you need to take out the judgment of both sides. Give it to him, that these are the judgments. So he'll just take a view, whatever is there, because different high courts would have a different view on that. And this was the time when there was no technology. Every preparation was from the books only, seeing the commentaries or digest, whatever is there. But you see the advantage of that and disadvantage at this time of technology is, if you read 20, 30 judgments in the books, you will retain all others may be relevant, but 2, 3 for that case. And those may help you in the other cases. Now with technology, you put some words, the relevant pair of that judgment will come and that's all. So no learning of any other area. So this was the advantage. But in any case, that time also passed, daily almost 15, 20 cases we used to do. Now, little surprise for me when it came. It was, I think Justice D.K. Jain sir joined as Chief of our High Court in March 2005. I was the standing counsel at that time. So I used to have, I think, 5, 6, 7 cases daily before him because tax bench was that only. So a phone call came to me somewhere, I think, in September of something, of Chief Saab himself. When I heard his voice, I was sitting in my office, I just stood up from my chair. Because at that stage, if you get a call from the Chief Justice of the High Court, it's just little surprising kind of. He said, you send your biodata to me. I was a little surprised. But it is because I never thought of it. It was not in my dreams also at that stage because I was 44, around 44 at that time. But in any case, I just consulted my mentors who were close to me. I said, this is what is happening. So they advised me what to write. I never knew what to write also. But in any case, as I said, this was not in my dream. I recently went to Yale Law School for a lecture. In the beginning I said that there is something people say my dream come true. I said I never dreamed of coming to Yale Law School and I had come here. Because the reason is at that time, 82, 85, very few people thought of going outside for studies. Now it is a lot of students are going, but this is what it was. So in March 22nd, 2006, I was elevated. Thereafter the journey in the court started. As an advocate, naturally I was having practice of tax or service or civil law only, some commercial type of litigation. But as a judge you have to do all. And in that matter I think I am really thankful to all my colleagues there and the members of the bar who taught me all other subjects. Because otherwise, if you do not do any case on any subject, it's difficult to learn. But if you hear patiently, I think you can learn everything. As is being talked about Medliper software, you see, one issue came before me. One postmortem report was there being read in a criminal case. It was, I think, bail matter or a criminal appeal. At that time, it used to be first copy, then carbon copy, and then photocopies thereof. Maybe in court, 5, 6, 7 photocopy may have come. And the photocopy you can't read whether this is 3 inch, 3 cm, or what is the size of the injury and all that. I asked the counsel that why can't it all be on computers? You can read it clearly. He said, no, it is not possible. How it is not possible? We just called the NIC people and this process started. And this took about 2 years to prepare this software. We involved all the stakeholders. And ultimately, 2011, we had started it in Punjab, Haryana, then Chandigarh also. And thereafter, in different states, it was there. But 23, it was taken over by the government of India, now made mandatory throughout the country. So this is the idea is that you need to have some problem-solving approach. This is how we develop the FSL Medliper also. This is linking all the labs. The problem was the report is ready in lab, but the person has not gone to collect it. And then Chandigarh Judicial Academy also I remained for some time. We tried one thing, because as you know, now the 2 or 3 years practice is required for joining as a judicial officer. Earlier it was not there. So you get 50-60% fresh graduates. No idea of code, anything. Direct from law college, they will land on the chair of a judge. With no idea where the shoe pinches. How to solve the problem? They have not faced any problem in life. So initial 2 weeks we had sent them to different districts, maybe close to their house, just to observe the court from the other side. Because once they are on seat, they will not know what is happening on the other side. So they were unknown, nobody knew them. So they realized and they gave us the reports that how the lawyers are telling the client, you go inside the court or you don't go inside the court, what the staff is doing, a lot of things they had shared because they were all fresh minds. So something we tried. So after 12 years, 7 months and 27 days as a judge in the High Court, in total I think 33 years, 1 month and 27 days, I was proposed to be transferred to Madras, in fact, at that time. So on my request, the place was changed. It was J&K. I joined there on 1911. A different constitution. In that also I had taken oath. J&K had a different constitution. All different laws. So we had to tune it because our mindset is for the normal laws. Now, like one example I give you, 319, there was no parallel provision there. So it was different. Another thing, you have commercial court amendment in CPC. In normal CPC, these were not enforced, they had enforced it. So this issue came, so this is how you had to deal with all these cases, but it was a learning experience, a different altogether. And November 18 I joined, so 5/8/19 came 370. Everything closed. So we had experience at that time also, but the fact is that initially the court was closed because everything was shut down, curfews. But later on, the system was kept open so that the people have access to justice. That is basically in Jammu and Kashmir, I would say. AG office was closed. The AG said we don't have the files because the staff is not there. We said we'll give you the soft copies, no problem. We had the soft copies with call list, we will supply to the AG office. And I think at that time we could dispose of more cases than in the normal times. And fact was that all 5-6 persons at different places. I was at my place, my leader, a bench secretary at a different place, pen at a different place, lawyers at a different place. It's not mobile only, no VC was there because net was shut down at that time, mobile network. Maybe somebody has the Wi-Fi or maybe the landline, whatever the way was there, we were hearing arguments and disposing of cases. But we could do a lot of that. One thing which I learned there only, initially they said, my lords may pass consideration order. Writ of mandamus. I said, what is this consideration order? He said, consideration order. I said, what it is? In the meantime, they may consider it. What is this? We have issued notice, we'll see now. What used to happen normally that in consideration order, if we direct, they will pass some order, he will file a fresh petition. The earlier will also remain pending. This was multiply. So I had to stop it. Then one experience I just shared. I interviewed the candidates for judicial officers. I may not take more time. It's a little boring. I'll share 3 candidates we used to interview for half an hour each candidate. 15 minutes only to make him comfortable, and then 15 minutes some interviews, questions. One of the candidates said, I said, why you want to become a judge? He said, power bahut hai. I said, all right, then you are by now. There was one girl, she shared that she is first from her village who has joined their profession, and my father had supported her. She was belonging to some village close to Kant, and she had started practice. I don't know whether she was selected or not because I was not seeing that finally. One girl, another, she did a graduation from Kashmir University and LLM from Gujarat, NLU. I just asked her, what difference did you find? She said, I am confident and facing this interview only because I had gone out of Kashmir. I had studied in Gujarat. So this was the problem. I think there is some change needed. We need to mix up and bring those students to other places. Otherwise they remain in their own shell only. This is what I felt there. But I found that the people were affectionate there otherwise. Exceptions are always there. The atmosphere, we know, it is there. I remember the sweets there. Chocolate burfi used to be there. Some pista is famous. And then walnut fudge in Srinagar. That's Moonlight Bakery, I think. Very famous. One scheme we started there in Saaf Ki Dastak, anyway, maybe few people may be knowing it. We said because there are a lot of areas which will disconnect during the winter season. For 6 months they will remain. How to approach the court? So we had associated with the post offices and all that, so that you send your anything by fax also to the court and you can get an order. And thereafter, I was transferred to Calcutta. 5th January 21, I took oath there. And from there only I served as acting CJ from 27th April 21 to 10/10/21. A different challenge. There some of the lawyers use the word, I think here also some lawyers from Bengal use the word subject to correction. That was heard there only. Correction will come in any case. There is a place, you have seen the building, flag hosting. Flag is there in the middle, there is a big tower in the Calcutta. So once I saw what that place is, I had gone to the top also. So my usher used to host that flag, basically, daily basis. The PM was assigned the duty. He said earlier time I was paid only 40 rupees a month to do all this. In the morning I'll go host the flag and in the evening I'll take it up. And there were a lot of, I think, stairs to go up. One day I had gone for a walk in Victoria Memorial. So I asked my driver that we don't need any PSO, we'll go otherwise. The gatekeeper said you can't go because you don't have a card. Only the members could enter that area for walk also in Victoria Memorial. I came back, all right. Then the SHO of the area, they came to know, they came and said, you are not at fault. Then what happened? Thereafter they made the arrangement, my car was from a different area, we'll go inside. I was also thinking that where he has taken the car, probably the vehicles are not going in that side. I said, the driver must be knowing it. But what happened in the morning, next day or third day, one of the colleagues came to me, Chief, where you go for a walk? I thought he must be living close by, maybe he wanted to accompany also. I said, I go there. He said, you are doing wrong thing. What I have done? Somebody put into social media that Chief's car is parked in the no parking area in the Victoria Memorial. So they were all alert. You see, in Bengal, they were all alert. Second phase of COVID, I was there. I went to Port Blair area also because saw a lot of ground rarities there, but lot of love affection. Still remember the sweets you see, Sundesh, and they call sanghadas, we call samosas, right? So from there my journey started to Allahabad, now from oldest to the biggest high court. 11, 10, 21 I took off there. 20% of population and 20% of litigation of the country is there only. And total sanctioned strength of judges is 1,114, if I'm right. And I worked in 4 high courts having strength of 334 judges. So almost 1/3 of India's judges, the sanctioned strength where are, I have worked in these 4 high courts. Third phase of COVID was there. There I suffered COVID. 2 places I could save myself, or I was saved by the grace of God. But lot of work was done there. Lot of affection. There I improved my Hindi. Everybody will say pranam in the morning, and documents are in Hindi. Some of the words are not in daily use, you see, but still try to learn. And one thing I would say that unless you go there and see the working court, realize what are the issues there and what are the problems and how much work is being done. A lot of work is being done there. But there are numbers, there are problems being sorted out also. A lot of hard work is being done there, there is no doubt. 150 years of bar and 71 bar was there, so 50th year they were celebrating Swarnim Mishal, that also came to the court complex. Some of the judges went to market also sometime incognito for having street food also there without anything. So we enjoyed there because Allahabad also has very rich quality of food. But one thing is there, in all 3 courts, whatever I could do, it was because of the support of my sister and other judges. And the idea, I think, is wherever you are a chief, you should be accessible. Then only the ideas will flow. If you are not accessible, nobody will share the ideas with you. So ideas come and then you can have them executed. Another thing which I felt, because Punjab I was there and J&K, border states and little active also. You see how the armed forces work, how our paramilitary forces work. And there you find that it's because of their sleepless night you can have a sound sleep. You see the ground reality is there. So I think we all should salute our armed forces and paramilitary. We had seen recently in Rajasthan, we had gone, our chief was also there, BSF camp we had gone, sir. You see our lady officers, the commandant was telling that in the recent Operation Sindoor, we asked that you go to the backward area, back area, he had used me camp only, not at the front. They said they refused, that one will stay here only. This is the courage even our lady officers have there. And I remember there was no mic there when after the function, small function we had, national anthem was there, the sound was much more than with the mic you have. So this much is the courage and all that they have. Then the last leg of my journey started in January 23. On 31st January 23, I got a call from the then Chief Justice D.Y. Chandrachud. Because in Allahabad, the house and court is just adjoining. A minute difference. So after COVID, I used to come to my house only for having lunch. I think this luxury may not be there anywhere in the country. That chief's house is so close that you can have lunch at your residence. When I was going back, I got a call. He said, Brother Bindal, we have cleared your name for this. Don't share it because resolution will be signed by evening. All right. So thereafter, resolution, and we took. Then Sister Hima Kohli, then Vikramnath, C.T. Ravikumar, then Brother Maheshwari and Brother Sundresh. And thereafter Brother Manmohan, and now last is Brother Vishwai, he is there. And then small 1 or 2 days, and one bench of 9 judges. I think it's a great experience. You see, you come from a different background, all of you, with different experience. And that helps you discharge in duties also, and sharing of experience also. But one thing is there, as Mr. Kaushik said, question and answer. We don't read the files. Well, sometimes we have to have drama also, like on bench we discuss, lawyers think we are discussing something serious. But many a times we are playing jokes only. We have to show that we are seriously considering it. But don't take this also seriously. Very serious discussion also. But I was lucky that I was part of the ceremonial bench on 75 years of the Supreme Court of India. But here also we learned some new words, terminologies used. I beg to appear. I beg to say, I beg to differ. Why you need to beg? You have a right to appear. But this is somehow, something has come in this, pardon me. Before starting you say pardon me, that means you are going to do something wrong only, that's why you are begging. Then another word is important, falling from your lordship. कोई पत्थर तो मार नहीं. These are the normal words. Then 1 minute more and I leave it at that. As Pragyaji in the morning said that somebody said 2 seconds, I said all right, 1, 2, over. We have to keep the atmosphere light, that's all, nothing. But I see a lot of things were learnt here only, because you need to deal with many subjects which we have not dealt with, like the local laws. Basically, they are not handy, and credit goes to the bar only, because they only tell us if we have any doubt. But one thing was there in Chandigarh, because I was there only as a lawyer, so we could have some humor and all that in court from day one only. But wherever I was transferred, it took little time, because we never know how somebody will react. Like in one case here, last week only, one lawyer said my case was listed on April 1, so it was not listed, date was given, and so date should be given. I said we had given you 1st April, that's why. You should not have a ground. It was 1st April only. But what I can say is that I am leaving this institution with full satisfaction, I would say. Whether as an advocate or as a judge. You see, no institution is perfect. Nobody is perfect. There are some errors somewhere, some problems somewhere, that we should sort out in-house only. We should not discuss anything outside that. This is what I feel. We can solve everything. But there is some habit of saying in the public, and if we say something or you say in public something, that has more weight as compared to a common person. Because we are part of the system. Whatever problem is there, I think our system is open. Our chief never says no, or any high court also the chief would never say no. They are all accessible. Whatever is there, you share your issues. In Allahabad also, or anywhere, it was all open. So you can all get all your problems solved, instead of discussing in the public platform. Now I remember one in the farewell function of Justice Rastogi, he said the independent judges are only understood as one who decides against the government. Otherwise, they are sir. But I think we all decide as per law only. The only problem is if somebody wins, he says, I have full faith. If somebody loses, he says the courts are wrong. We are regularly seeing this only. Because the litigation is high stake, the pattern of litigation has changed, but whatever is there, it will go. And one thing, more public trust and confidence is very important. This is the last court, and the courts are the last remedy, both ways. Here the effort should be what I feel, I think in the first program also when I had joined, I had shared that the effort should be to assist the court and not to win the case only, because laying down a wrong law may have very large ramifications there. We should only assist the court to come to a right conclusion, so that the confidence of the people remain in this system. Technology, yes, is there. AI, we all know, has already been said, little dangerous. And I remember reading one article written by Mr. Tushar Mehta regarding mobile. But he said this hero was once a villain, because entry of mobile in court was banned. If your mobile rang, it was immediately taken. So thereafter the court functioned with mobiles only. So this is how things change. new challenge is coming, right to be forgotten also, that matter is pending. People have started raising why you are uploading my orders and judgments. But now in entire this journey, as a lawyer also, as a judge also, I think we all can't work in isolation unless we have the support of our staff. And I'm lucky to say so and happy that wherever I was there, my staff was fully supportive to whatever I did. Wherever I asked them to work, maybe in the odd hours also. And I'm not in habit of noting any judgment. Now I can share with you all the secrets. Because otherwise you remain afraid of many things. I don't note down any judgment. I have no notes, nothing. But I somehow recall the judgment. I would ask my secretary in Chandigarh that when we were in court number 63, that counsel had appeared in this month and all that, he will take out. What used to happen, I'll call my secretary that this case we had decided, in just 5 minutes send me the judgment. This was my system at all places. Chandigarh also, Jammu also, Calcutta also, Allahabad also. This is how we traced out judgment. I don't remember the judgment. So similarly, I think lot of support of my, Calcutta what happened in 5 in the evening and they will go at about 3 a.m. This was the time for them, that's why it was taking time. But nobody said no. And all my friends also, I think in the process were with me. They never tried to misuse, I would say. Lot of credit goes to them. Unless you can't, you are sitting on the other side. But this is, I think, full credit to them also. And above all, I think most sufferer is always the family. Because in profession also, and on this side also, more time is taken in this. And from November 18, I am outside also. Earlier I was at least at Chandigarh. So I am out from Chandigarh from November 18 and longest time I spent in this court. So this had been my journey. Never thought of coming to this side, but destiny has brought me on this side. But if destiny also has brought me, I think wherever somebody reaches, he should put his best possible whatever can be there. And in this process, I may have hurt somebody because in court also there are sometimes tempers are high also. Maybe I have hurt somebody, maybe the staff also sometimes. I think that was all momentary. Maybe fault may be mine only. So I apologize for that. But one thing is there, you always take good memories with you to cherish through my rest of my life. But one thing I remember, one of the judge when he came to Chandigarh for transfer, his farewell was there. He said the plant some sapling is transplanted. So whether it will survive or not, the quality is not of that sapling, quality is of the soil. And there the soil is my brother, staff and the judge, these lawyers. Because they had allowed me to sustain it. So that all credit goes to them. And whosoever was there in my life for the last 40 years as an advocate, we clean our streets late in the evening, otherwise all hodgepodge will be there. So I may not remember the names of all of them. So with these words, I'm for sparing your time. What I can say is, I'm always there for the institution if anything is to be done, or maybe any of the lawyers, if anything. Leave aside the professional part. With these words, I am thankful to the bar. Thank you.
We're grateful to you, sir. Not only keeping your courtroom with lightness, but today the auditorium and every member of the auditorium had a smile and live music. So now I request Mr. Manish Dubey, Joint Secretary SCB, to give legal note.
Namaskar. Honorable Mr. Justice Surya, Chief Justice of India, Honorable Judges of Supreme Court of India, Sri R. Venkatramani, Attorney General for India, Sri Vikas Singh, President, Sri Rahul Kaushik, Vice President, Ms. Pragya Patel, Honorary Secretary, SCBA, Senior Advocates, Members of the Bar. सर, दो पंक्तियां आपके लिए। तराजू या दल थामे जो गुजरा ये दौर, आपकी कलम से मिला हर मजलूम को गौर। रिटायर हुए हैं बस ओहदे से जनाब, इंसाफ की विरासत में आपका नाम है बरकरार। It is my proud privilege to deliver the vote of thanks on this memorable occasion as we bid farewell to Honorable Mr. Justice Rajesh Bindal. In fact, this is one of the rare occasions where the Chief Justice of India and retiring judge both are from the same state and same high court and same level. Justice Bindal's journey in the judiciary has been one of dedication, wisdom, and service to the nation. From his early days on the bench to his tenure in the Supreme Court, he has consistently upheld the highest standards of the justice. His judgments have reflected clarity of thought, deep knowledge of law, and sensitivity to the needs of society. Today, we also discovered the great sense of humor of Justice Bindal. We are grateful for his contributions in shaping important areas of law, guiding young members of the legal fraternity, and setting an example of integrity and fairness. His humility, simplicity, and approachable nature have won the respect and affection of colleagues, members of the bar, and staff alike. On behalf of everyone present, I extend our heartfelt gratitude to Justice Bindal for his invaluable service. We wish him good health, peace, and happiness in the years ahead. May he continue to inspire us with his wisdom and experience even beyond the bench. As we conclude, let us carry forward the values that Justice Bindal has exemplified: commitment of justice, respect for the rule of law, and compassion of the society. I am grateful to Honorable Justice C.K. Roy, former Judge Supreme Court of India, for joining us. I also extend my sincere thanks to Mr. Himanshu Bindal, his son, Mr. Shivram Dhillon, his son-in-law, and Mr. Manish Bindal, his brother, and other family members. Your presence has added great warmth and meaning of this occasion. We are deeply thankful to law officers, state law officers, legal members, senior advocates, and members of the bar who have joined us today. Your presence adds immense value to this occasion. I also thanks to Mr. Bipin Nair, President, Mr. Amit Sharma, Vice President, and other office bearers of ISFORA. I extend my sincere thanks to Leonard Secretary General Sri Bharat Parasar, Mr. Kuntal Sharma Pathak, Registrar Admin, and other Registrar of the Supreme Court, and members of the media and their coverage and support. I also extend my heartfelt thanks to entire executive committee for their hard work for making this function successful. I request to join us for a moment. To present a memento on behalf of the bar to Honorable Mr. Justice Rajesh Bindal, Judge Supreme Court of India, I request Mr. Vikas Singh, President Rahul Kaushik.
Thank you everyone. My request, please join us for IT on second floor. And this is in ground floor also.
It's called interaction. Lorry and vehicles. But everybody, everything has a beauty.